Hello, everyone. It says I'm live. I guess I am live, and I am alive. Hey, welcome, welcome, welcome. You are, excuse me, listening to Marilyn Green. I am the host of Girl, Who Don't You Know? Okay. Everybody know that's my bucket list, and I've checked it off, okay? Because I've been doing this since May of 2021. And over 700 followers. Following me. Oh my. So I'm just excited about it. I'm just excited about it. So hey, I know I got at least one person out there, but please, what I need you to do is to share, share, share. Take your time and share, share, share. Because you know what? My show is about transforming your mind or minds one show at a time. And I tell you what we got coming up today, you're going to be transformed and you're just going to have some fun too, because that it wouldn't be my show without that. Okay. So let's see here. So who we got? We got True Prince. Hello, young lady. I love you, True Prince, all the way from H Town. Okay. So please, please, please share the show. Share the show. All righty. And if you want to go on Facebook, you can go to Girl Who Don't You Know. And then, excuse me, you can see it that way. Or guess what else? You can see me on YouTube. I'm all over the place. Okay. You can see me on Facebook. You can see me on YouTube at Maryland underscore pink and green. All right. And so please, please share the show. And I'm excited to have you. So normally I always ask a question. So my question for this time is, what's the temperature where you are? So give me your name. Tell me where you're tuning in from, and tell me what's your temperature, because I know it's a little cold today to me. Okay, it's to the point where you say, should I turn my heat on or should I not turn my heat on? I don't know what you all doing in your neck of the woods, but hey, I certainly do want to know. I'm not gonna get mad at you, but I'm just wanted to know what's going on, and as they say, in your neck of the woods. Okay. While you share, 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 let's talk about this here. Okay. Hey, you can advertise with me. I love to get the word out because I love to help people get the word out. What you're doing, what you're thinking about doing, we are here to help you. So you can contact me at 636-442-2630. Leave a message, or you can go to Girl Who Don't You Know at gmail.com, or you know how you guys do it. DM me, instant me, whatever. You know what to do. Okay. So contact me, because you can advertise on my show one of three ways. Okay. You can have a flyer and you can write the narrative yourself and I will just read it for you. Or you can have a video, a short video. Okay. Or you can come on my show and talk about your book, talk about what's going on, talking about your nonprofit, how you're doing different things. So it's three different ways. Please contact me because I would love to advertise for you. All right, so I'm going to show you my first advertisement before we get into this, because once we get into this, I really, really do not want to stop. Okay, so let me take this off of here. Okay, so I'm working by myself. So I'm a baby boomer. Hear me roar tonight. So just hang tight. Okay. All righty. Okay, here's the first thing we're going to do. All right, so my grant writing class is coming up on Saturday. Okay, I also have JFY Consulting, where we are producing results just for you. It's a grant writing class, and guess what? It's in person. So if you're in my neck of the woods again, come on by. And I am doing a special today only. Okay, I'll be turning the big 6-6. Wow, who turned the lights out? Okay, what happened? How did I get here? I'm happy to be here, but go on Eventbrite, and I have a birthday special for you. You said, well, hey, your birthday is not until October 26th. You are correct, but I celebrate my birthday starting September the 26th. So it's a party going on for the whole month. So please, if you know anybody, get the information and tell them to sign up today. They got until 12 a.m. and they can get this discount. It's a discount of like $84. You can't beat that. So, hey, Go on and do it. Okay, the next thing I want to show you is, wow, the pretty girls of Alpha Kappa, Alpha Sorority Incorporated, Delta Delta Omega chapter. My chapter is having an annual t-shirt dance, and it says Pretty Girls presents the Neon Night Glow Up. It's going to be in Madison County Fireman's Hall, and it's going to be in Collinsville, and it's going to be November the 5th. It starts at 7 p.m. You guys ought to get a ticket. If you need a ticket, you know who you can see. It would be me. Okay. So that's one way you can do it. All right. And let me take this down. And another way that you can do it is, I'm getting to it. Just hang with me. My little person ain't with me tonight. I'm a baby boomer. Hear me roar. Here's one right here. Let me show you.
Welcome to Cafe Biz 618, shared workspace in Fairview Heights. And no, you don't have to work at the coffee shop. It's designed for small businesses that need professional office space by the hour, by the day, or by the week. The offices come fully furnished and are a fraction of the cost of renting a building. Just pick the space you need and let Cafe Biz 618 do the rest. To find out more, visit cafebiz618.com. For meetings, training, networking, and more, it's Cafe Biz 618.
All righty, so you can do a flyer, you can get that video going on, and we're going to be showing you the interview in just a second. Let's go to the comments and see who's out there. All right then, True Prince, Tanya Garrett. Hey, Soror Tanya Garrett. She said, good evening. Good evening to you, Soror Tanya. Okay. All right, True Prince, we mad at you. It's 87 degrees. I think you in H-Town, right, Houston. We mad at you, okay? So you know, all right? So then we have a Maryland. Maryland, I love that name. Frederick, good evening from Got a Fire in the Fireplace, Chile, Vermont. What's the temperature, Maryland? Share with us. What's that temperature? All righty then. Okay, so let's get to it. So tonight, you guys, okay, I got a person that's coming up here that is, she's been a longtime friend of mine, and I don't use the term friend lightly, as she probably knows, okay? Most of my people are associates, okay? So, but she's on here today, and she's a returning guest, and she's returning to do something live on my show that, as a producer, I have to think of innovative ways to do things. And so I thought that it would be great, and I'll give you the backdrop or the history of this. I thought it would be great if I would sew into her and purchase some books, give it to my audience, and let them read it, okay? After they read it, then I wanted them to come back, as they are now. I got some lovely ladies on the panelists. Come back and let's talk about it, okay? And so that's what we're going to be doing, a book club live and in color. All right, so let me bring her up. Wait, let me go back over to the comments. Okay, hold on. All right, now what we got here? Tanya got, hi, Sora Maryland Green. Hi, Tanya again. Okay, Vermont, you are cold. That's 46. That's cold to us, okay? And then we got Soror Nicole Thompson Williams, line sister. Hey, Soror. And got another line sister. Come on, that's what you're talking about. Come on and support your sister here. Hello there, Cassandra Cobb, Soror world traveler. Been to England over there right when the Queen passed. Okay, wow, Cassandra been everywhere. I'm just telling your business, Cassandra. But I'm excited for you, and it's always good to travel. All right, and who else do we have? Henrietta Young. Hi, Soror. Good evening, Soror. How are you? Man, I'm just loving this. Okay. Let me see what the private, it is great. Soror Catina Rupert. Okay. All right, so let's get started with this. Okay. Let me close you down. I'm telling you, I'm working by myself, so y'all just bear with me, okay? I am a baby boomer, but it's always good to know. You know, my mama said it's good to have and not need, and need and don't have, okay? So when I first started, and everybody know I was a baby boomer, still a baby boomer, but I was roaring pretty loud because I was like, hold on, I'm going to get it. So please share the show, share the show, share the show. All right. So let's bring her up. And here she comes, I believe. All right. I think she's there. Hey, you. How you doing?
Hello.
How you doing, Soror Catina
I
Rupert?
am wonderful. How are you?
You know I'm fantastic, girl. As they say for Mary Poppins, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Expialidocious. Hey,
That would be me today.
wonderful,
It is
wonderful.
so good to have you on today, a returning guest, and I kind of gave a backdrop of what we were doing today and
Okay.
all that. So we are going to be discussing
Yes.
your art, okay,
Yes.
today. All right. I think that's your art, and I think also is laced with your passion and your compassion. Okay.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
let me show the name of the book, The Woman in the Mirror. I Am Who I Choose to Become. And you can go to Amazon.com. Thank you so much. Amazon.com and get you a copy. And guess what I know? Christmas is coming, holidays are coming. It makes a beautiful gift. Sometimes people don't like to say stuff, but they'll give a hint in a book, okay?
Right,
So
right.
get your book. get your book and pass
Absolutely.
it on down the street for somebody down the road. Okay, so we're going to be discussing that. And let me just show also, we have for the panelists, we have Miss Annabelle. How you doing, Anna?
I am doing fabulous. So
Super.
excited.
And then, if anybody's been following my show for a minute, I have the famous Miss Mary Stapleton Carr from MISSISSIPPI. Yes, it's Miss Mary. She's
Yeah,
on here. She's going to be one of the panelists. How are you today, Miss Mary?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Great, great, great. So I'm going to put you guys down for a minute back into my green room, and then we're
Okay.
going to talk to this author for a minute. Author Katrina, tell us this. Katina, I'm sorry. Oh my
Thank
God.
you.
I'm tired. I'm tired. I had a long day. A long day.
No
Okay.
worries.
Tell me, first and foremost, where did you get this name for? No, tell me about you and where did you get this name from? Okay. What I mean, did you just wake up and start look in the mirror yourself and say, hey, let's talk about the woman in the mirror, or just I like the name. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, well, I think the name, its inception came from just experiencing women and encountering, women and their attitudes. And oftentimes we project out on others opposed to looking within. And so I'm normally try to be a centered person and really try to be reflective. And so, before I pass judgment, as they say, on anyone else, as they say, your point have one finger, pointing at someone else, and three to four plus three fingers and a thumb pointing back at yourself.
Right?
So I think it's just so important for us to be reflective, and be compassionate of others. And so, with that, I think the work always starts with ourselves. So it's important for us to look in the mirror, because one thing about it, you cannot lie to the person that's in the mirror. We can fool most of the people some of the time,
That's right.
but
That's
we
right.
cannot fool those set of eyes that are looking back at us when we look in the mirror. And then the mirror is reflective in many other different ways as well. I love mirrors because mirrors provide light.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just so many um, reasons behind the name.
Yeah, okay. So Marquita Brown said this is so true. Hey Marquita. She
Yes,
was on
ma'am.
last week, man. She blew it up, I tell you. But anyway, so all right, so let me ask you this as well. First, no,
Mhm.
let me do this. Hold on. Okay, Miss Anna
Yes.
and Miss Mary. I'm gonna ask you. Tell me, Miss Anna, who you are, where you from, and tell us what you do.
Yes, my name is Annabelle, and I'm from Freeport, Illinois. I'm an information and assistant supervisor at the Senior Resource Center in Freeport, Illinois.
Okay, so nice to have you here. Miss Mary, You're welcome. Miss Mary, you know you up. Tell us what's the story for real about you. You're
Can't
on
hear.
you, Miss Mary.
Talking because of the background noise. I'm sorry. My
Okay.
name is Mary Stapleton Carr. I live in Pearl, Mississippi. I am retired after 40 years of nursing. I retired, but I do volunteer on a crisis line here.
Awesome.
Okay, so these two
Awesome.
ladies read the book. Okay, I'm gonna start with you, Miss Mary. What's your thoughts, about this book? Just tell us a little bit about your thoughts.
The book was really great. It took me back to my childhood, as I had told Katina earlier, that there are words that I had forgotten that I knew, and they're in that book. There are things that happened back in the day that hadn't I hadn't thought of in, I know, 30 years. And it just took me back to a time and a place in my childhood, and I could see myself and I could see others.
Yeah.
Yeah, those
So
people
Wonderful.
in that book, I know some of those people. Okay.
Yes, absolutely wonderful.
okay, so all right, so I'm gonna get back to you on that. I think I kind of want to keep on pulling with that, just a tad, just a tad. Miss
Mhm.
Anna, tell me your overall thoughts about this book. The woman in the mirror. I am who I choose to become. Okay, tell us.
First of all, I was totally captivated just by the cover of the book because in the last word, mirror, I said, this is a look at yourself because the two R's face each other.
Mhm.
And
Mm-hmm.
so they're looking in a mirror. And I always felt that mirrors tell you a great story about
Mhm.
yourself, about
Mhm.
your mind, about your own heart, because that's something that we look in every day. Something that we look in every day. And we have the opportunity to correct those things that we see within our heart through the mirror if they're not sending the right message. They send it right back to you when you look in the mirror.
Mhm.
That's right. I love that, Anna. I'm gonna start with you right now. So when you looked in the mirror, I mean, you talk about the reflection. You're talking about the things that people have to be honest of, transparent. When you say so,
Yes,
transparent.
very much
Because
so.
you could be looking in the mirror and you thinking you weighing wearing a size 9, but really you wear a size 15. I'm just gonna go on and go there. Okay, so you got to be transparent of who you really are.
Yes,
That's what
you
you're
do.
saying. Being
Yes, you do.
transparent. And then,
Yes,
Miss
you do.
Mary, you talked about the fact that you hadn't heard certain words. It brought back memories. It brought back all that and stuff. It also, when it brought that memory back, it also started to heal even more. If you weren't healed,
Mhm.
the healing comes, even more. So that's really good. I love that. I love that. Okay, so everyone know, I asked the ladies to give me some questions that I could ask first the author. Okay.
Mhm. Mhm.
So the first one that they always ask, I know, is the book about yourself, people you have encountered in a day to day, or family members? Who is this book about? Okay.
It's absolutely, it's a culmination. I'm all up in there. I've been inspired by many women. My grandmother had on my maternal grandmother had 22 children. And so, yes, ma'am, with one set of triplets. And so I've had a lot of aunts to watch. I formerly worked for 11 years at a resource center. And so I've encountered women from, again, all walks of life, women, children, and just life in general as well. And so, and I also have an empowerment center for women.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just a melting pot, if you will, and a culmination of thoughts of women from all walks of life and throughout my life. Some things I've experienced, some things I've seen, some things I've heard, and some things, I'm just privy to.
Okay, and I can notice that you didn't. So everyone, once you buy the book, you'll see what I'm talking about. Okay, hint, hint. It's no names in there. There are no names of any family member, whatever. But I think the part I love the most about the book is that you can see yourself. You can see Uncle John. You can
Absolutely.
see Auntie May. You can see everybody. And let me just add this: when you get the book, I keep saying that when you get the book, you cannot digest this book in one day. It's not one of those read through really quick. When you guys agree, it's
Yes.
not a it's,
Absolutely.
it's not a read through. It's a
No.
take a little bite, put your fork down. Take a little bite,
Absolutely.
Digest
put
it.
your fork down because
Mhm,
it goes in.
mhm,
Okay, and you got to stop for a minute and say, okay. And then you need to meditate it and ponder on it because it's like, oh my goodness, okay, dokie. And so it's so many words of affirmation. I love words, okay? So
mhm.
many words of affirmation that you can take one line and chew on that forever, almost really. Okay, so just wanted to add that in there because that's what I love about this book. It's so many different turns and twists and different
Mhm.
ways. It's amazing, author Katina, that you even wrote that book. It seemed like it's a compilation of
Mhm.
many different minds,
Mhm.
okay, like you said, that came together. It's just, I mean, it's just a bunch, but I enjoy it, and it's like, wow, I have to get a little bit, and I had to sit down, okay. So you know what I'm saying? I got to sit down, stand up. I got to do something because it's a little bit too much for me. Okay,
Mhm.
so some of the other questions, one of the big questions was that comes from Miss Mary from MISS. Y'all know. Okay, she says to you, how has this book impacted your life and in the life of others? And how do you view other women from the mirror perspective, not just Black women?
Oh yeah, the book is not written with no one particular race. It transcends race because one thing about it, as women, we have so many things in common, and when they read it, they will see that. And I've had women from various walks of life and race and nationalities to reach out to me, and they cried just as we've cried, right?
Mm,
They shared just what Miss Anna and Miss Mary have shared, in that they had suppressed memories and things that they had not dealt with. There were taboos, within the family secrets, um, and things of that nature, and they shared. It freed them. And
mhm.
as say, these were not children. These were, mature, seasoned women. And
Right.
so who had gone throughout most of their lives and just had not dealt with matters of their heart. And so they shared that it simply just freed them. And so it has impacted me. I wrote the book. Um, my mom had passed, and not long after my mom passed, a couple years, it was 3 years after my mom passed, my oldest sister passed.
Mm.
And so I always knew I wanted to write a book. And my mom was one of the liveliest people that you could know, and she lived a life as well. And so and she knew I had shared with her, that I would write a book as well. And so just when I lost both of them, you know I always say death is reflective of life, right?
Mhm.
It helps you to put life in perspective.
Mhm.
And from that point, I just began to write, and it was like I just had to get it out. Was like binge writing. And I remember my daughter asking me, Mom, who is giving you a deadline? Because I literally was just binge writing. I couldn't sleep. I just had to get it out
Mhm.
and get it written because, death had been sitting right in my living room. Okay.
Wow.
And so, and it was just stories that I wanted, them to be able to be reflective on, and life lessons, right? It's about life lessons. So I think it is very important. And as stated, as women, we can all be reflective. Um, and yeah, it definitely transcends race.
It does. It does. And it also has a lot of ups and downs, metaphors, similes, English class 101. It has a lot of metaphors in there and a lot of similes. Okay. Y'all know those words. Okay. It does. It's a very, very, like I said, a very, very good book. All right,
Mhm.
so let's turn to the panelists a little bit, and I've taken some of these questions from the book, okay, and I don't know if I asked this already, but no, you all did already say that, but you said that you did see yourself, okay, so what part did you see yourself? Miss Anna from Rockford, go forward.
Now I'm from Freeport.
From Freeport. I know people in Rockford, okay?
Yes,
Don't
I'm from
start with me. Just go
Freeport.
along. Just go along.
I am. I am. I am. I am. Well,
Okay.
um, I guess I saw myself in the part of, and in so many different parts of the book, but one
Mhm.
that really stuck out to me is being a teen mom,
Okay.
and how that affects your life at such a young age.
Mhm.
And also, it brought me to the point of, since I read this book, um, forgiveness, and
Mm.
forgiveness within myself,
Within yourself.
Mm.
Mhm.
forgiveness within myself, and to come to the realization that even though I went through that phase of life, I'm
Mhm.
still a very successful person. And
Yeah.
I never thought of myself as being a conqueror or a
Mm.
successful person or someone that even had a voice. Almost just like, it seemed like, I'm trying not to cry. I
Mm.
seem
It's
That's
okay.
okay.
It's
Let it
okay.
come. Let it flow.
Let it
and it
go, girl.
seemed like
We here.
living.
We here just like Oprah. Do it, girl.
It seemed like in living past that, that I always felt that no matter what, I couldn't raise my head fully.
Mm.
Mhm.
No matter what I accomplished, I could
Mhm.
not raise my head fully.
Mhm.
But after reading the book, I can raise my head and I can look straight ahead.
Woo, yes,
All
yes,
right.
yes. Thank you,
Hand
God.
claps. Okay, y'all know the little virtual hand
Mhm.
claps. Put them
Thank
in there.
you.
Put it in there in
Like
the
I
chat.
said, I do
Hand
know
Yes,
that
claps.
I have a voice. I have a
Mhm.
voice.
yes, yes.
I have a voice. I don't feel anymore that I can't voice who I am.
Mhm.
I know that I am somebody, and for so many years, I just was just skating by, not really ever going back to visiting how that made me feel.
Wow.
To be in a group of women and you're trying to voice your opinion almost like they didn't even hear. Now I
Mhm.
can speak loud enough that people can hear me.
Boldly.
Yes, yes.
That
Mhm.
is beautiful. That is
Awesome.
beautiful. And
Mm.
that's and I know I'm going to speak for you, Miss Arthur. That's what we talking about.
Yes,
That's what the book
absolutely.
is about. So, like
That's
I
the
said,
purpose.
get your copy, get your friend a copy. Everybody need to get a copy because the
Yes,
book is that moving, and for everybody, it has different parts in it. You
Miss
yes.
know, so what's
Miss
gonna move
Marilyn,
you? Go ahead.
I also too want to tell my very, very, very dear friend Marilyn from Vermont. Thank you,
Oh,
Marilyn. I share it with you, and thank you so much for coming on. I greatly appreciate
oh.
it.
Thank you,
Wonderful,
Marilyn from
wonderful,
Vermont. Okay, I love
wonderful,
your name,
wonderful.
Marilyn. I love your name.
Yes.
Anyway, okay, Miss Mary, tell us, how did this book? Where did you find yourself? And
Oh, all over the place in every
okay,
page, in every page. But there's one page, I believe it was page 7. It says she did not provoke fights or seek to harm others. She simply said what she meant without any problems with
With repeating herself.
repeating herself,
oh, that's right.
as she did very boldly. I must
Yes.
say that growing up, I grew up and was in school in the 60s to the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
And so there were times when we would get into little altercations at school.
Mhm.
Now, I was never one, and I mean this, I was never one to provoke a fight. My
There you
mama
go.
always said,
Yeah.
do not. But once somebody provoked me, it was like they had poked a bear.
Yes,
Really
And I
ma'am.
now, really now.
I would give it everything that I had. And
Mm.
so I say that to say this is sometimes when things have happened to you at a young age, You know how they say you don't lash out at the person that
Mhm.
actually did it. You get, whoever comes into your
Closest.
space after that, you
Mhm.
learn to protect yourself.
That's
And
Mhm.
right.
so that's what I would do. But after that, whoever the person was that I had the altercation with, we got to be best friends. Some of my best
Really?
friends after in school was people that I actually had to fight with.
Mhm. Mhm.
And
Wow.
yeah, so I really saw myself in that, in the fact that I did not provoke it, but
Mhm.
when it came time to fight, and now I know how to handle my situation in a different way. Of course, I don't fight people now.
Mhm.
I just,
Mhm.
yeah, I handle it in a different way because people don't fight fair anymore. They'll take a gun out and shoot you now, or
That's
stab you,
right.
or do something like that. So I have learned down through the years to handle my situation in other ways.
Yes,
So,
ma'am.
Miss Mary, you saying that you don't start it, but you will show enough finish it.
Hello.
That's
That's
what I'm
right.
thinking. You danced,
Pretty much.
Miss Mary, you
Back in
danced
the
all
day,
around
back
that.
in the day
You
now, back
danced
in the
around
day.
it, and I found it for you. You
That's
said you
right.
can start it
Well,
with me, but I'm gonna finish. Okay.
that is absolutely the truth. I wouldn't
Okay.
start it, but mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
after that, you you make an example out of one person. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
It's like
That's
start it if you want to. I'm gonna finish it. Okay. That's exactly right. But that's great.
but
But I
but as they
love.
say now,
Go
that
ahead.
was the old me. The new me doesn't handle my situations that way.
That's
I
right.
try to, especially with my lady friends, because I don't have that many guy friends that I would be getting in confrontation with. But with ladies now, I have learned that we are all in this together, and that when one of us hurts, all of us hurts, and
Yes.
when one of us win, we all
Yes.
win.
You know what I
Yes.
say? You win, I win. Hey,
That's
Yes.
right.
let's go to the comments here. Okay, Marilyn during Vermont she said it's her pleasure. Okay. We love having you on. You come back, okay? And then also my girl, Miss Vantoinette Savage, Miss Tony. She says beautiful, beautiful. Okay. So she's all in North Crackalacky. What's the temperature there, Miss Savage? What's the temperature? All right. So, okay, well, great, great. I love that. Okay, so here's a question here. Okay. Looking at the woman in the mirror, what keeps you going? Okay, I'm going to start with you, Miss Arthur. Miss Arthur,
Mhm.
tell us what keeps you going?
Well, I have to give all glory and grace to God, because, for one, He is the one that keeps me going.
Mhm.
And when I look in the mirror, I'm reminded of who I am, whose I am, and the promises that God has given me. And
Mhm.
also, when I look in the mirror, I see my ancestors.
Oh, wow.
Okay. I see my mother, who was my greatest cheerleader. I
Mm,
see reflections of my daughter, who's coming after me. And my children, period. And so they are, um, two of my greatest inspirations. And so, I keep going to be a exemplary example
Mhm.
for them. Okay, because I understand that the life that I'm living now is my legacy imprint moving forward. Okay.
that's
And
right.
that can be for
I love that.
generations to come. So from my grandmother, to my mother, to my children, and many other women, my aunts as well. So that inspires me because our genes are so very strong. And
Gotcha.
the older that I get, the more that I look like those people who look like me. Okay.
Mhm.
And
That's
so
right. That's right. I
absolutely.
love the fact that let me get Miss Edith Walker. She says, I'm loving all the views. You talking about looking in the mirror, Miss Edith? She said, I'm loving all the views, okay? And she says, what keeps me going? God is my fuel. And then
Yes.
family, friends, and coffee. Real Talk 100.
And leave
Real
that
Talk
coffee out.
100. Okay,
Mhm.
so
And
that's
leave that
great.
coffee out.
So
Yes.
Miss Anna, what keeps you going? What keeps you going? Because this book right here to me is so motivational. Okay. And so
Mhm.
when you look in that mirror and you look at it every morning or whenever and stuff throughout the day, you got to be reflective and say, what is keeping me going? Okay, that's the
Mhm.
question on the
Mhm.
table right now.
Mhm.
So what keeps you going, Miss Anna?
What keeps me going is the upbringing that I had from my parents, what they instilled in me, what
Yes.
they instilled in me that was important in life. Um, my mom had an eighth grade education, and my dad could not read and write. But it
Mm.
was one thing that my father always did. He always wanted to make sure his children were educated. He made sure of that. He always instilled in us all the time that it was important to be able to read and write. It gave you power when you could read and write.
Yes.
I still find myself, matter of fact, it seems like on Saturdays I have cookathons. When I'm thinking
Okay.
about my mom, I cook
Hmm.
some of, I want my house to be filled with just the aroma of
Yes.
all the stuff that she used to cook.
Wow.
Um, my mom and my dad both inspired me, um, and motivated me. No matter what I went through, they were always there.
Mm-hmm.
No
That's
matter what.
beautiful. That's so beautiful. Hey, on that note and stuff, you guys, if you want to put in the chat and stuff, what keeps you going? I love to hear it. I love to share it with everybody else of what keeps you going. And I love the part that you said, you guys are talking about honoring your legacy. That's what you were talking about
Mhm.
right there. By smelling what you smelling, collard greens, what you was cooking at. Come on, I done got all the receipts.
I cooked fried cabbage and pork steak, and I just cooked macaroni and cheese, my mother's recipe, caramelized sweet potatoes,
Oh, yes.
bread. I be just I be just cooking from her sweet potato pies to her peach cobbler.
Oh
All
goodness.
right. All right.
Okay.
All right.
So you know I got it wrong.
Tell my
So
mother I start rattling them pots.
there you go. So no,
Mhm.
she is in Freeport. I got it wrong. Don't be looking at Rockford. She is in Freeport. Don't find her on Sundays because she cooking. All you gotta do is get in Freeport and start sniffing. Okay,
And
you will
listen,
find her house.
Yeah.
Miss Anna, I just Sunday posted a post on Facebook and said, "Are you rattling those pots this morning?"
Wow.
That's it. That's it. Okay.
That's something.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Let me see what your girlfriend said. A thirst for understanding keeps me going. I heard that, Marilyn. I heard that.
That's wonderful.
That's hey. The Bible says wisdom is the principal thing, and all your
Mhm.
getting
And
get
all that
understanding.
get
Get an
understanding.
understanding.
Get
Yes.
understanding. So you got to
Mhm.
understand. All right. Sounds good. Okay. So Miss Mary, how are you honoring your legacy? What keeps you going? Tell us what's going on with you.
Well, I have a strong faith in God because if it had not been for God who was on my side, I would not have still been here. And I thank God every day just for being here. My faith in my family and my friends who love me and they show me unconditional love. It's one thing to have people who say that they love you and care about you, but it's another thing to have people who actually show it and they give you unconditional love. And the fact that I still have my mother. My father passed
Oh,
on a few years ago, but my mother is still with me, and I can have conversations with her about the good old days because at this point in her life, she remembers things better from yesteryear than she does, more recent. So we
that's
can
right.
have good conversations about things that happened
Mhm.
back in the day, and just being thankful for life and life itself. And when
Mhm.
I look in the mirror, what I see is a woman that is fearfully and wonderfully made because God
Yes.
made me and God doesn't make any mistakes. And when
Yes.
we know that about ourselves, when you can say, I am fearfully and
Ah,
wonderfully
come
made,
on now. Come on.
Yes.
Come on. Whoop.
then
Come
you
on
can you
now. I'm
can
about
walk
to
out the
pass the
door.
plate.
You can walk
Yes.
out the door and have a smile on your face, and it not be
Yes,
a fake
ma'am.
smile. And when you smile at people and you wave at them, you
Yeah.
mean them nothing but good. That's
Mm-hmm.
That's
every
right.
day.
Hey, I'm
Every
finna
Yes.
day.
put somebody up here. I don't know who's her TT, but it's Makila. Did I
Oh,
get that
my
right?
Sheila. Yes.
Okay, somebody saying, "Hey, TT, hey there." Okay, I'll speak for him. Okay, here come
That's
my
my
solo
niece.
Cassandra Cobb, making my parents proud, making my children proud, and making myself proud keeps me going. Bringing
Mhm,
others along and pulling and pushing them up keeps me going. Okay,
mhm,
we're gonna talk about that in a minute about what you should be doing and adding to people. All right,
mhm.
so let's go on. I got few more questions. Okay,
Mhm, mhm.
um, so after you read the book, okay, have you stepped out of your comfort zone and added some flexibility to the equation, meaning some of the goals that you wanted to do? Have you stepped outside, or are you still just thinking about it a little bit? Okay, but did it push you to do some things like that? Anybody want to jump in there?
Yes, it pushed me. It has inspired me to like I said, take things to an entirely different level as to how I choose to for my life to be. Some changes that I want to make within my own life. It's not wrong for me to think about myself.
Hmm.
I can do for others, and I'm a person that I like to serve people. I like to help people. I'll go an extra mile. What about going an extra mile for myself?
Come
Yes,
on, come on. Let's stay
absolutely.
right
It's not
there.
selfish. It's not
Absolutely.
selfish to want
Yes.
other things and to do things for yourself. I always put myself in the back.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Mm-hmm.
ride in the car, like in a van or
Burn.
something with people, with a group of women. I've always
Mm-hmm.
been in the back because it seemed like I wasn't in the conversation anyway. But now I'm gonna sit in the front for a little
Yes,
bit.
That's
I've
right.
been liking the ride thus far since I've been reading out since I read this book. I like the front seat.
I do
It's
Okay.
too.
not a bad
absolutely.
thing.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
You better get this book. Okay, here it is right here. I got it. You see all the
Mm-hmm.
little sticky things in here?
And
That
if
means
I
that
may,
means
if
that I read it, or did I just go on and still put some sticky pads in there? Okay. Y'all better go on and get that book and stop
absolutely.
playing.
Yes.
You know, you want to add something on Arthur Katina?
Indeed, following behind Miss Anna. And thank you so much for that. If you look at, I'm presuming that you completed the personal reflective nugget, which
Mm-hmm.
was number 4.
Mm-hmm.
And it says, boast about how you care for, embrace, and love the woman in the mirror.
Mm-hmm.
Hence, you were made, quote, very good,
Very.
with
Mm-hmm.
many things to love about you. Remember, beautiful, it's not robbery to give due diligence to self care
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
acceptance for the temple that hosts the
Yes.
woman in the mirror, which
Mm-hmm.
is
That's
you.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
Because we know
Absolutely.
you go back to the beginning in the Bible, it says everything God made was good, but
Was
when he
good.
made the woman, he said it's very good.
Very good.
Right,
Mm-hmm.
right. And I
Yeah.
also love your quotes. I mean, in chapter 22, one of the biggest things about this book is as well, I love words of affirmation. I like quotes. So this quote here, it said the most terrifying thing is to accept oneself completely.
Yes.
Okay. To say, I just accept every part of me, and it's
Mhm,
by Carl Jung. I always say his name wrong, but I think he was a psychologist or something of
mhm,
that nature,
mhm.
right? Okay, so it's terrifying to accept your own self, but that's when you start to be reflective. You accept your own self, look in the mirror, like I said
Yes.
earlier, be transparent and be truthful to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Don't continue to just say, hey, I'm going to just keep on lying to myself. Okay. And
Yeah.
then another quote says in the book, chapter 27, on page 143. I act like I'm in school, right? Okay. No matter no matter where I run, I meet myself there.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't hide. It's important
That's
to be
right.
reflective and look in the mirror. And that's by Dorothy Frost, okay?
Absolutely.
Dealing with situations, and all that. So let me ask you this, Miss Mary. Okay, when you
Mm-hmm.
get around people, would you say you leave the people that you encounter in a better state of mind? If so, how? What do you do? What do you do? Okay, or are they saying, I'm glad she gone? Okay, go on.
Well, I don't. Most of the time, people tell me that they leave better than they came, and the reason I say that is because of the people that I deal with who are in crisis. And when a person is in crisis and you help them to move from crisis to calm,
Yes.
then yes, they say, I'm so glad that I called because you have helped me. They tell
Mhm,
me that usually by the end of the conversation, even
mhm,
if I haven't resolved the problem for them,
mhm,
because sometimes you can't resolve an issue in a
mhm.
3 or 5 minute phone call,
Right.
but you can calm the
Reinforce.
person down enough that they can see a little bit further than they were, and then they reason with themselves, I can do this. I can do
Yes.
this. So I would like to think, and then as a nurse working as a nurse for 40 years, I learned a lot about medicine and about people and things, of that nature. So usually my prayer is that I do leave people, if not any better, God knows not any worse. Okay.
All
Okay.
right.
That
I
that
heard
would be my
that.
hope, is
Yes.
that I wouldn't leave them feeling worse about themselves than they did before they had a conversation with me.
I love that. How about you, Miss
Wonderful.
Anna? Being around people, do they feel better? People say all the time now, it's their energy.
Mm-hmm.
Their energy was bad or whatever. So, hey, what's going on? Tell me about it.
So often with myself, I feel in the line of work that I do that people generally leave feeling much better after I have seen them and address their situation and help them conquer their situation. Um, I'm very compassionate about the work that I do in my community. I work with senior citizens
Mm-hmm.
to make sure that they have a good quality of life as they transition into old age. I do from helping them to select drug plans and advantage plans for insurance and
Mm-hmm.
that type thing, from helping them maybe purchase a prescription or get some work done on their house or find means for them to be able to stay in their homes. So
Yes.
generally, most people leave me feeling pretty good. But in
Okay.
just my day-to-day life, generally, I talk to lots of people that seems like people draw to me that are going through things.
Okay.
Yes.
And I'm a really, really good listener.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
And
you
my
are.
mom told me one time and cleared something up for me. I said, Mama, I said, I can be in a room with a room full of people and I'll be trying to get in a conversation, but don't nobody even acknowledge that I'm there because everybody expects you to listen. They looking for you after the fact because you done
That's right.
heard everything. Because I can relate to Miss Mary being in the kitchen with my mom and her sisters. I would wash dishes about 20 times, the same ones, because I wanted to hear what they were saying. I want to know all the family business, what was going on. So my
Mm-hmm.
mom said, you always been a person to listen and
That's right. That's right.
recap.
That's right. And you guys maybe not have heard Miss Mary said that, but we be behind the scenes. We'll be on here early and we be chopping it up then and stuff. So yeah, that's what she's talking about. Just being in the kitchen, just being nosy. It ain't nothing what I can say, you couldn't say too much, so they don't mind if you sit in there. Kids supposed to be heard and
Yeah.
not seen and all that. So watch
Seen.
that
Seen
stain.
and not heard.
Yeah, see, yeah. Okay. y'all know it's hard on me. It's hard. Anyway, so let's move right along really quickly here. Not
Mm-hmm.
really quickly, but anyway, here's a question for anybody that want to jump in. How are you? Okay, wait. Oh, I got some stuff over here. Wait, hold on. What's this? Okay. Miss Vantoinette Savage said, what keeps me going? Just being able to wake up in the morning with the glory of God, having the wisdom,
Yes.
my pathway to wealth, and understanding the unknown and not worry about what's in front of you. Being able to help people to climb to the top, loving life to the fullest, pushing forward to my destiny.
All
I
right.
am
All right.
so beautiful and living my life. Go
All
ahead,
right.
Mary. Come on now.
All
That's a finger snap going on right there.
right. Yes.
Let me see what Miss Edith said. And that's my favorite. Every time I try to run, I meet myself there. So
Yes.
I
Mhm.
quit running about 40. I'm
Mhm.
here for all people. I truly haven't met a stranger, and I'm 59. I have
Yes.
folks drop by all the time just for a hug and a
That's
prayer.
right.
So that
That's
means,
right.
Miss Edith, that you are leaving them in a better place, even though they may not feel it. But God is definitely working on them from that hug
Yeah.
that you done gave them.
Absolutely.
So let's talk about this really quick here. Where my main question? Okay, I love this one. Okay, I did write it, but I still love it. Okay, how are you assisting others? It's kind of like the same one, to see their crown,
Mm-hmm.
wear their crown,
Mm-hmm.
and more importantly, keep it straight. A crown checker. I got that from one of my guests, Roshinda Pickens. That's it. How you be checking that crown? Because I'm gonna tell you nowadays, you could be going down the street and stuff, and that little strap thing that be hanging out when you try to hang up your stuff, it be out and don't nobody tell you, okay? That's about crown check. That's about telling them, hey, you ain't all the way there, okay? So how do you assist in doing that? Anybody can just jump in. Go for it. Sound like you want to talk, okay? Arthur, Catina, you're up, okay?
Well, as stated, we're reflective. So, for one, I would say, when I enter into a room, I'm reflective of my own crown and I try to present the best version of myself. Okay. And so, in doing that, that automatically becomes a mirror in some cases for others. And, sometimes it's embraced, other times it's not. Because one thing about it, if you are evolved, if you are being a light and someone chooses to be in darkness, darkness does not like to be exposed.
No.
Okay. So sometimes, as stated, they embrace the difference in which they may see and the light in which they may see in me, and other times they shun it. But even in seeing that, I try to yet love on them and let them know, because life is a journey, right? And we all have our individual path. We all get, to our destination, which we won't ultimately get there until we go and see the Lord.
Come on.
But in traveling along this way, right? We're not all, I'm not where I used to be. Okay. And so, and I still have a ways to go before I get to where I actually need to be.
That's
right.
That's
So
right.
I have grace for others who are on their journey. And so that's part of helping others to make sure that their crown is right. Okay, give them an encouraging word. I always say, and I was always taught, you can speak to a dog and it'll bark. Okay.
Okay.
And so just simple things, you just, greet people and you
Yes.
greet people with a
Mhm.
smile. I mean, we take those things for
Mhm.
granted,
Absolutely.
but you can walk into a room so many times
Mhm.
and be greeted with a frown and you're like, what is happening? And so
Right.
many people, won't speak when they enter a room, you know, and so just smiling at a person, it can light up their world,
That's right.
greeting them, being kind. And as stated, in some cases, hey, if something isn't right on one of my sisters or something, I may, whisper or, in their ear and say, hey, or try to fix it myself. Can I
Yeah. You
adjust
did that
this?
yesterday.
Yeah,
You did that
absolutely.
yesterday to me, so you know. So she ain't lying, okay? So I want to tell you that. She did it to
That's
me twice, 3 or 4 times. I'm like, Lord Jesus, let me go and fix this thing. But no, you're right.
yeah, absolutely. So, there are many ways. And, I just believe in being an example of what you preach and what you teach.
Okay. How you guys how your crowns feeling about right now? Are they straighter since you read that book or what? Or what? Miss Anna, you look like your crown is really was straightened. Was it straightened?
Yeah, it's straightened up. I got a diamond, a emerald, and a sapphire, and in a platinum blend. In a
Okay,
Yeah,
come on, let's go. Let's
yeah,
say that.
red,
yeah,
Okay.
a
yeah.
red. It's a platinum band.
What
Mm-hmm.
about you, Miss Mary? Did you straighten that crown or you noticed that
No,
crown?
excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
I am flawed, but I am perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's okay if my crown doesn't sit up high all the time.
It
Just as
Mhm.
is.
long as it doesn't fall off, okay?
Yeah.
It can be cocked to the left or cocked to the right at some point in time. But as long
Mhm.
as it's still on my head, it's all
Yeah.
good. Yeah,
And
because
Okay.
and
I'm
even
flawed.
even if it falls, just
Even if
pick
it
it back
falls, I'm
up.
just gonna pick it back up and put it back
Yeah.
on because
Yes,
yes, we
ma'am.
all have some flaws and we need to embrace our flaws
Yes,
because we're
ma'am.
flawed, but we are perfect and we are because God made us that way. He named
That's
it.
right.
Perfectly
That's right.
flawed. Perfectly flawed. It's in the book.
That's right.
It's in the book.
Perfect.
I was going to go there. Thank you so much. It's in the book. Get the book.
Yes.
Gotta get your book. Okay, you gotta
Gotta
get
get the
the book.
book. You
We're
gotta
just
get
trying
the
to give
book.
you some
Gotta
tidbits
get
of
the
what's in
book.
the book.
This book
Yes.
is
That's what we're
something
trying to give you
else.
some tidbits. Some of the questions I pulled out from reading the chapters. Okay, so
Absolutely.
get your own
Absolutely.
book because that's what's going to move you. And it's so I said when I read the Bible, the revelatory knowledge that I get is from me. Okay,
Mhm.
when you read this
And
book,
it's
and I'm
very
not
easy
comparing
to
it to
read.
the Bible for those who want to try to say something crazy to me later,
Mhm.
I ain't hearing it. Okay, so let's get it straight right now. All right,
Mhm.
I'm not trying to do that. All I'm
Mhm.
saying is this, that it's going to give you your knowledge for you, Miss Mary, you, Miss Anna, you,
Yes.
Katina, for me, Marilyn,
Absolutely.
my own.
Mhm.
Okay, because
Right.
Absolutely.
what's inside of me that's aching or hurting or whatever, this book
Mhm.
will pull it. Okay, so it's
Mhm.
different for everybody. Okay, so
Yes.
you
Absolutely.
really have to get the book. So
Mhm.
we're almost out of time, and I got to hear this from you guys right now. Tell me, is there any last words you want to give to the audience or anything that concerning the book? Speak up right now. I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it. Okay.
Well, I'll say, being that we just, we're speaking about our crowns, I think it's important to understand and that we all have them. Okay. And more importantly,
Yeah.
understand your royal identity.
That's
Okay.
it.
And that comes from, and with that, it will give you the confidence you need. It gives you the assurance you need. Many people had people to come up to me and apologize to me. And I'm looking like, what are you apologizing for? And they've said to me, well, I thought you were stuck up, or I thought you were this or that. And I'm saying, okay, you've never even had a conversation with me. You don't know me. And so, and that's the thing. They're like, well, that's why I'm apologizing because, once they have a conversation with me,
Mhm.
okay, and get to know me, then they know I can be the most down to earth person that there is. Very, very humble. I love people, love serving people. However, more importantly, love serving God. But I just have the confidence, and this is something that I know. Like I said, I've had a lot of beautiful women that have gone before me. And so I learned well from them.
Right.
But more so, just knowing whose I am, who my father is. He claims me. He sealed me before the day of redemption. Okay. He gave me that promise and all of that, you know, it was before he formed the foundation of the world. And so when you know that, you will go forth in confidence and you will understand your royal identity all the more. So I
That's
thank you,
beautiful.
ladies, for coming on. I thank you for reading the book. I thank you. I'm so humbled and appreciative of your comments. And, I really, really, really do appreciate it. That is the purpose. And you all have just made my day. Thank you so
Wow.
much. And thank you to you, Marilyn,
Of
for
course.
having me on. Thank you.
Yeah. And so, Anna, what's your parting words for the audience? Get the
Right.
book. I know that one. Okay, go for it.
Read the book. Read the book. And always remember that God has not given us the spirit of fear, but that of power,
Mhm.
love, and of sound mind. Second
Yes.
Timothy chapter 1, verse 7. I have been
Mhm.
standing on it for years, and the book just confirmed that that's
Mhm.
exactly that scripture was meant for me. It has carried me through my life more often than
Mhm.
I even care to remember.
Yes.
And I
Wow.
just want to thank you, Katina.
Mhm.
I enjoyed the book.
In the
You're
book.
an inspiration. I can't wait till you write some more.
Yes.
And I'm
Yes.
looking
Yes.
forward to it. And it was a pleasure being on with you tonight.
Thank
That's
you
so
so much.
nice.
Thank you so
So
much.
welcome.
Miss Mary, parting
I will
word.
make mine short. I would like to thank you, Miss Marilyn, for
You're
inviting me
welcome.
to be on your show tonight. I have thoroughly enjoyed it, and I thank you for my winning this book. I won it on one of your earlier shows, and you sent it to me.
Yeah.
It is wonderful. I encourage all our sisters out there to get it and read it. And I have some sisters, and I'm going to buy it for them so they can read it. I'm going to go on Amazon tonight and purchase some books, and I'm going to give them to my sisters that I know who may be hurting, and need to read this. I am.
Thank you
So
so
that's
much.
so great.
And thank
That
you,
right
Mr.
there.
Tim, for writing the book.
Yes. Wonderful.
Yes. And y'all follow what Miss Mary say from Mississippi. She know what she talking about. Okay. We'll get some books for your sisters. Okay.
That's right.
Love it.
For your
I love
sisters.
it. Okay, let me go right over here real quick. And Miss Tracy Estelle said, being kind to yourself will help you to be kind to others.
That's
And
my love, sister.
Miss Soror Tracy, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, let me go back. Soror Tracy, I'm sorry, I didn't know. Don't say
That's okay.
So, Marilyn, I love your name. Listening and acknowledging one another is such a great gift, both for the recipient and the giver. It is very much a mirror, in quotation, response. Great job, panel. I'll get the book. That's what I'm talking about right there. So, hey, I've had a blast with you guys. You guys are awesome. And I have one part that I want to show before we end the show, because the end of the show is going to be actually a reading by the author. So hang on, because I want to show you guys what's going to be coming up next week. Okay. All right. We're going to be having amazing journey. Not next week. I'm sorry. I won't be coming on the first this time. The first Monday, I'll be coming on the second. And it is breast cancer awareness. And I always need to do my part concerning that. So we're going to be having amazing journeys, and each one of these ladies have been affected by breast cancer, and I need you all to hear their story, okay, and their encouragement. One actually had the dis-ease, okay, and the other two had people in their family that they had it, but everything is an amazing journey back to health, mental health, body health, whatever, okay, so please join me for that, all right, October the 10th. All right. So with that being said, if you could really, really bring us to the point where we can just end this wonderful conversation, author,
Yes.
Catina Rupert, she's going to read something that I believe just sums up what we've been talking about today. So go for it. I'm ready.
Absolutely. So I'm going to ask if our panelists, as well as those who are viewing, if you're not driving, if you can just close your eyes and listen through the mirror of your heart, listen through the mirror of your eyes, and just focus on the words. The title is Love After Love. The time will come when, with elation, you will greet yourself arriving at your own door, in your own mirror, and each will smile at the other's welcome and say, sit here, eat. You will love again the stranger who was yourself. Give wine, give bread, give back your heart to itself, to the stranger who has loved you all your life, whom you ignored for another, who knows you by heart. Take down the love letters from the bookshelf, the photographs, the desperate notes. Peel your own image from the mirror. Sit, feast on your life. By Derek Walcott.
Wow. Thank you so much. That is love after love. So,
yes.
Next time, like I said, we're going to be talking about breast cancer awareness, but I have had a ball. I appreciate you ladies so much for taking the time. And I'm so happy that this book was a blessing to you. And I think we, as I say, we done the doggone thing tonight. Okay? I think we did that. So I think I'm gonna have to put my real talk up here, like I want to say. Y'all need to just look in your mirror. Okay, that's the real talk. Okay, come
That's
on.
right.
Come on.
Look in your mirror.
Look in your mirror. Look in your mirror.
Yeah, and hold it up close.
Okay.
Yeah, hold it close. Don't hold it.
Please,
Yeah. Yeah,
Just
look
look
in the
at your
mirror.
mirror and come back next time.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking about amazing journeys back to health. So thanks so much for joining in. I appreciate you guys so much. And until I see you next time. Okay, wait. I got a comment in here. You know, I'm a baby boomer. I'll be trying to get everybody's little stuff here. Let's go on. What's going on here? Who's saying something? Okay. All right. Miss Savage. Beautiful show, Mrs. Marilyn Green. You are amazing. I love you, Marilyn. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Keep up the
Absolutely.
faith,
Absolutely. Ditto that.
Yes.
Now I
Yes.
love that poem. Yep. I'll
Yes.
always do the doggone thing. That's right,
Mhm.
Miss Walker. Now, Miss
Mhm.
Walker, you better go get your book, okay? Because
She
don't
has
think it's
one.
gonna run out because we will print
Okay.
more.
Get
Okay.
your book.
We will print more.
Get your
Okay.
book.
Get your book. Get your book. So
Get your
thanks so
book.
much, ladies. And I'm going to end this show right now. But ladies, you all don't have to jump off, but I'm gonna end it live. Take care now. Bye-bye.